to another episode of Breakfast at Layers. I'm your host, Leia Mondo. Thank you so much for clicking on the video wherever you are. Please like, share, subscribe. It really helps the channel. I put out these videos every first Sunday of the month. My next guest is one of my good friends in the music scene. His name is Sherief El-Shazly. Sherief is a London-based promoter and DJ and founder of Kula Collective. His passions have always lied in building communities and holding the space for creative freedom and fun. As a DJ, his sets weave music across borders and times. Starting Kula has an opportunity to shine light on different art forms and musical heritage. These events have always been rooted in celebrating music from different cultures and building on London's exciting cultural scene, gathering diverse audiences to share a moment and express themselves. All right, please welcome Sherief. Woo!
Hello. Breakfast at Layers, let's go.
How are you feeling, Sherief?
I'm feeling good. I've had a very good month. It's been busy. It's taken some energy, but it's also given me a lot of motivation. So I feel like that's picking me up. So yeah, I'm blessed. Feel good.
Yeah. How was your summer?
This summer's actually been so good. I think the thing that I came to realization recently was that it feels like the summer where a lot of loose ends were tied up, a lot of circles were kind of completed and rounded off. Nice. Where a lot of people that I've met over the last, I would say 6 years or so, I've started to realize they all now know each other. And so there's now you know that person, I'm now living with people that know other people that I've met, and it's like everything's kind of going full circle, and it feels really good because it makes me happy that there's a community there, and there's also a lot of love there. And I've really realised that this summer, so it's been really nice. Yeah,
I love how in the London creative scene, there's a lot of communities that overlap each other. So we might know each other, but then we meet other people who know everyone that we know without knowing them. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I love that about London. There's just these very small niche communities.
And it's not just creative people necessarily. It's just kind of people that love going out, love experiencing music, love being in a creative scene, and I like vibing with people that also are the musicians and the DJs and the rest of it. So it's everyone is kind of in the same space, not necessarily all the musicians are there, or it's I've started to realise everyone is really mingled that just loves the scene in some way. Yeah, true.
What do you love about the London scene?
What I love? Well, I think... So there's a lot of places around the world that have a great scene. I think everywhere you go, you get a bit of a flavour about what the people are like what people are into and what kind of is popular there. But then what I feel with London, it's such a big city and it is a bit different to a lot of other places. And I think it is that melting pot, and it is that place that gives you options. There's
so
a scene,
many options.
There's a community for everything.
For everyone as well. It's great.
Exactly. So I think in that sense, it's really nice. I think there's a couple of things that are a bit challenging. So the economy generally is challenging, and that means spaces and places are kind of shutting down or changing tact. And, what was trying to be a community space now has to kind of, deal with rising rents and have to put their prices up, which is also how they survive. And... yeah, I think there's definitely some challenges. It's so big as well as a city that, if you're going from one end to the other, it is a lot of energy that you have to give to get around. But I think people are committed, people are connected, and I do think that the scene is good. There's a lot of good artists that come here, people pass through, people are willing to put risk into bringing kind of people from all over the world and creating platforms for more experiential things as well. So yeah, I think from in my network as well, a lot of people are doing really good things and their heart's in the right place, and I think that's starting to rub off on everyone and grow around the scene, which is cool.
We're gonna get into more of the community and the London jazz scene in a bit, but before we do that, I want to pick your brain a little bit. Well, I just want to know about your upbringing and how it all started for you.
Okay, let's go to the beginning.
So we're gonna go to the beginning, Genesis. Tell me about how it's been growing up as Sherief in London. Not even London, but in the UK. Like, how was your childhood growing up? How did you get into music? Who got you into music, or the creatives?
Okay. So I was born in London and was here for a little bit, and then I actually spent quite a lot of my early years in Birmingham because my mum had a job there, working at the university. And so I think my childhood was quite friendly and happy because there was a lot of neighbours around that, you know, all kids similar ages, and we lived near a park, and there was a really nice kind of loving community around, which was really nice. And, you know, my mum was a single mum, but like gave us a lot of really good experiences growing up, and we spent a lot of time, you know, visiting my grandparents in London. So I always had that kind of dual connection to both cities growing up. And then moved to London for secondary school again, and then I was kind of like, okay, the city kind of blew me away in that point of my life, because I was like, right, there's a tube map. So I learnt the tube map, got an Oyster card, and I was just like, right, bye. And I was just like touring. I was just like meeting people and like going all. And so like my teen years in London were really cool, because it's like there were so many different schools and people that were kind of connecting with each other, and we had access to the city. Well, it felt like we had access to the city, so we were just kind of like going to crazy like house parties and kind of creating our own fun, which was really nice. And there was a lot of kind of creative and not so creative, but just kind of wild people about. It was really fun, like in those days. But I think with music, it's like I've always been drawn to it. I've always listened to it. I wouldn't say like my family are very musical, or there was like a lot of music in the house all the time. Necessarily. I mean, there was. So
you're one of the first in your family.
Well, I think everyone in my family, like, they love to dance, they love music, but they're not like, they don't dig for it. They don't like look for it. They kind of. I think my granddad told me that so Kulthum is like a really legendary Egyptian singer from back in the day, and it's like, you know, it was such an honor to see her, and he fell asleep at her concert. So it's like, you know, I think, you know, that's a bit shameful. I shouldn't have said that on air, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they liked music, but they weren't like extremely passionate about it.
Okay, it's forgiven.
And but then, you know, my mom made me learn the violin when I was young, and
you can play the violin.
Well, I hated it.
That is so cool. Why haven't you told me about this?
It's just like after like 4 years of doing it,
that's crazy. You can play the violin.
Well, you didn't let me finish. Like by the time I finished like 4 years of it, I was still so squeaky, so like just couldn't like
you were pissing off the neighbors.
Yeah, I think I got to like grade 4 maybe, but then it was just like I just didn't like the instrument. I just didn't have that much of a passion for it. But it kind of made me inquisitive about other types of music, so I kind of picked up the guitar and then started learning on YouTube and from watching people, and then did a few piano lessons, and then did the same. So I've kind of never had like a theoretical background, but I've always been quite fast to like pick things up. You know, YouTube actually is a great teacher. Like I remember learning guitar on YouTube basically, and it's gotten me to a point where I can play, but I can't like read music or know like the technicals. You're a great guitarist.
I try.
And a great singer. Yeah, we actually haven't gone into you as well. This is your
platform. It's an interview about you.
I know, but let's also celebrate
We're here to dig you. And thank you for telling us all about this background of yours. So you are basically one of the first ones in your family, if not only the only one in your family who's taken music on. Has it been... Have your family been supportive? Like, has anyone around you showed support in this endeavour?
Big time. I mean, I think if we go back a few generations, there was actually quite a few musicians in the family. Like my great-grandfather used to play the anun, which is like a bit like a harp, like an Arabic harp, but you kind of play it. Okay. Like
is it on the
yeah, flat.
Oh, maybe I've seen it.
I think his brother was a ney player, which is like a flute, or the oud player, which is a guitar, and they kind of had a little thing together. And then my great-grandma used to play piano. So there was a few generations that kind of skipped of maybe a couple generations. And most of my family are actually architects. So they all, my mum, my aunt, and my grandparents are all architects. So I kind of didn't want to do that.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like with Kula Collective, like it's quite an accessible night. Like a lot of different generations come. So my mum and all her friends come a lot, and it's actually so nice because I've had a lot of their generation come and feel at ease, and they're very supportive with it. And yeah, obviously when you run parties and we like music, you could bring some vibes, and people, if they like it, they like it. My family do like it, so it's good. But growing up, like, I have a sister, and I remember, like, we have very different music tastes, and yeah, we're quite different in a lot of ways. I think growing up is quite hard to try to like impose what you're into on someone like your sister,
your family,
and then, you know, we would clash a lot, and I'd be like, how could you not like this? And then years later, like, we just talked about it, but like, it's okay to not like the same thing.
Yeah.
And now we're like supportive of each other, and it's like, if she wants to play like some kind of reggaeton track that I don't love it.
She's a DJ.
No,
well.
she just listens, but she like loves that stuff. Or she like music enthusiast in her own little thing, pop music mainly, and yeah, we can appreciate each other's tastes without having to impose it on each other. So it's quite nice.
That's nice, healthy there.
Yeah.
So, when did you actually decide, like, okay, I want to get serious about DJing and the whole music thing?
Yeah, so I went to uni. I went to uni in Manchester, and I don't know if you've been to university.
Yeah, I grew up
there.
Come on, girl,
of course.
I know
this.
It's the nerves. It's the video nerves.
Yeah, well, we love Manchester, right?
Yeah, we love Manchester.
Great. Yeah, I had such a good time there, and it's like there's like a creative pulse in the city, and everyone's just like doing it for the right reasons, and that's really, I think, where I experienced like community in music. It was very strong there. And it's quite infectious. I was like really wanting more and more, and I kind of spent quite a lot of time just going out and like experiencing it. And then I lived there after uni as well, so I kind of got to experience it.
Where did you live in Manchester?
So I lived in. So when I was a student, I lived in Fallowfield, which is kind of like where a lot of students live.
Yeah.
And then kind of moved towards Withington, which is kind of next door.
Yeah.
And then moved
not far from where I grew up. Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
Well, Wigan.
Well,
it's not too far.
Yeah,
it's a little.
I think with Manchester, everything's quite close.
Yeah,
I think if you drive as well, you
a lot of people know each other. It's a very small.
Super nice.
Do you think people are nicer up there? I think people are nicer up there.
I think generally people are nicer, but I've met lots of nice people here and everywhere. So it's
same.
like I just think that the city lends itself to make people a bit nicer with each other. I mean, it does rain a lot, and like people do complain about the weather there, and it can be a bit depressing.
It's like all the time, though.
It actually does, because when I like came back to London and I realised, I was like, wow, okay,
it rains all the time.
But then I also think that's what makes a lot of the creative flair happen.
It's probably
if you think about all the legendary bands that kind of went there, it was probably raining, the economy was bad, they kind of felt disregarded in like the 80s or whatever, and then they were like, you know, let's just get in a room and play music and like just play a bit, I don't know, like the Smiths and all that. It's kind of like
the bands. Oh my god, we have to get into the bands.
Like, and they got a certain sound that just sounds a bit like weather's a bit depressing, like whatever, we're gonna make our own fucking time, and then
that's why there's so many bands.
And then they make really good music, so maybe that inspired it in a way. Who knows?
Same anyway. This is not for decoration, by the way.
Of course.
You can have a taste. I made you some little milkshake. We always like bake little cookies as well, things on the table.
I'm getting a slight nutty vibe.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's so nice.
Peanut. Yay! Hopefully you're not allergic. I don't want to be killing somebody.
You did ask me before I joined, am I allergic to anything?
Yeah, you're
I had
not.
to think about that. I just eat anything.
You're fine.
I was
Everything
also a bit
goes.
worried about this in a way, because it's like, you're going to throw some questions at me. There was like baking involved, which is sweet, but what's
this? I'm setting the vibe to make you comfortable.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna bite. No, I'm joking. I want to talk about, actually, now we're on the topic of milkshakes. What's your go-to breakfast?
Go-to breakfast?
Yeah, like what do you have like in the morning?
So I'll probably have, there's either like two directions I'll go in. I'll either like wake up and I'll be like, okay, I need something like maybe porridge with some like fruit and like peanut butter and like nice seeds, and try and get some like maybe some desiccated coconut in there, put a bit of cinnamon, you know what I mean? Like,
you're
kind of
super
like,
healthy.
No, I'm saying like, okay, that's what
on a good morning.
And also I feel like that also sets me up for eating all day, because it kind of gets the body moving, which is nice. But then if having that every day is it's not that exciting, a bit depressing.
It's not.
Then I might go for a little bit of kind of like an Arabic-y Egyptian styled breakfast where they got like beans, like a fool they have is like fava beans.
Okay.
Or might have definitely have some eggs with that, maybe some kind of meat or fish, like maybe like the smoked mackerel. I've gone down that route before, or I've gone down.
For breakfast.
I know it's controversial,
so
but you
African.
know what? It's actually quite like
African.
It gives you it just gives you good nutrition before the day starts. So you brush your teeth again, and then out you go.
So you brush your teeth twice before you get out the house.
Sometimes, if fish is involved. Or have some sausages. I don't know. Like I feel like breakfast though has not always been my like strongest meal.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes I skip it.
Yeah.
And I know when I do skip it, I claim it as intermittent fasting, but it's just me just being like not being asked.
That's like my
do
thing.
It, or waking up and just having to start something, and then I can't think about food and multitask. But yeah, breakfast is an important meal. For sure.
It is an important
meal. But I can't say it's my favourite meal.
I don't think it's my favourite meal as well. I always feel like, I can't even say that. I've got a whole podcast for breakfast. I love breakfast, guys. Milkshake.
Milkshake and cookies for breakfast.
Yes, but no, my favourite meal is definitely dinner because I love cooking. But breakfast, smoothies are my thing. Like, you know, when you just like you said, you want to just get on the task and get things done. Like smoothies to me is like, I love just getting the smoothie, making it, drinking it.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, and forgetting about eating until like 2-3 p.m. Yeah. You know, like, and taking my multivitamins as well, you know. Yeah. Somehow I feel like when I do that, I'm like better than everyone else.
Yeah,
but I
feel strong, feel good, feel ready.
Yeah, but it's like
now I'm thinking about it. I don't feel ready for the day a lot of the time.
No, I don't as well. But anyway, I want to talk about what do you love about DJing?
DJing, yeah. So I didn't actually say when I started DJing. So I started DJing when I kind of moved to Manchester in my second year of uni, and then me and a couple of friends who we now run another night together called Wiggle Room, but we all started DJing around the same time.
Oh, so you know them way back?
Yeah, so a lot of that crew I've known since those days or even before. And yeah, we're kind of getting into collecting music, and then everyone was DJing, everyone DJs, and I also love that because it's really accessible.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if you love music, you can share it, you can present it in a certain way. And I was just into that idea, so I kind of was a bedroom DJ for ages, playing with friends,
as you do.
Yeah, and it was great, like on a very basic setup, but it was good enough for then, and had a lot of fun. Played at some house parties that we kind of threw and went to when we were at uni. But then it was like much after that, when I started running nights and stuff, that I started taking DJing a little bit more seriously. And I just love it because it's a bit of someone's personality, it's someone's interest. It's all about creating the space for people to dance and let loose. And I don't know, I've had so many good experiences of just like getting lost on a dance floor. And you know, it's not, I don't think all the focus should be on the DJ itself, but it's on the music, it's on the presentation,
on the atmosphere that you're creating.
Yeah, and also like what I've learned over the years, because I guess it has been quite a few years now, I kind of came to the realization where you kind of got to validate yourself a bit, being like, yeah, I have done this for a long time. I kind of do know what I'm doing to a certain degree.
Yeah, even
might
though
clang a few
feels
mixes.
Like you don't.
Yeah, sometimes you know, it's bangers and clangers. Sometimes you get a few. Sometimes you clang a mix, and sometimes it's like you're like, oh god. But then, you know what? Just keep the vibe going. Just play good music, and then people do love it. But I do think the system's a bit flawed. How like there's so much emphasis now on DJs, and
there's so many DJs now.
So many DJs, but like, you know, we also need to keep remembering live musicians and the importance of providing platforms for them, because I just think that now a lot of bars and clubs, especially in London, that I've seen, are kind of favouring DJs over bands because it's simpler.
Oh, do you think?
I actually do think that.
It is cheaper. It is.
Yeah, but I mean,
can see all the financial aspect of it.
I just feel like, you know, to get a band, you have to have backline, you have to have sound engineer, you have to. There's like, you know, many musicians. You know, you should feed them. Like, you should make sure that they have everything they need to play, and there's multiple people. And, you know, they've also got to share, like, that fee around, whereas a DJ can kind of, well, bigger DJs can also get a big fee, a big rider. and yeah, they just come, plug in, play, and then leave. And I think there might be a bit too much of an emphasis in that as a format, and not necessarily taking a bit more risk or investing more in bands.
Yeah, I hear that. But like in terms of like DJing, have you ever had a gig?
Sorry, me and you are just good at tangents.
We are. We'll just go
back. Yeah, bring me back, please.
Like, I'll bring you back.
Just keep yapping.
No, it's good. I love it when we yap. In terms of like DJing, have you ever like did an event where like the crowd are just not feeling your music?
Oh my
God! And how did you navigate that scenario?
I kind of feel like everyone that does DJ should experience this, because
at least once.
Like you learn your lesson. Like I think if you don't experience it, then maybe you can just kind of think that it's all going to be okay in your mind. Whereas actually the thing that I realized was 100% you got to also read what's in front of you.
Read the vibe. Read the room.
Read the room, like big time. And I did a gig at the Jago, and I was running the night. And I didn't actually want to DJ at it because it was like, I find it quite overwhelming sometimes to DJ and run a night at the same time. In the Kula Collective's format, because there's a lot of musicians, a lot of people to kind of cater for, so I kind of need to be on it. But yeah, we kind of, me and Theo from Woodburner, you know Theo.
Yes, Theo.
Shout out Woodburner.
Shout out Theo. Shout out Woodburner. Woo.
Yeah, we love it. And we did a night together, and downstairs was kind of programmed it to get a little bit more progressive. It was kind of a more chill band. Then it kind of got a little bit more tribal, a little bit more Roskius, who plays a lot of kind of like looping stations, kind of a little bit electronic, but mixed in with lots of percussion, and it's really cool. But what I didn't really factor in was a couple of things. One was, after the band finishes, a lot of people leave, a lot of new people come. But the new people that come, they've just been at the pub. They've just been all over. They've been at bars, and they want to party. They want to party.
Like,
they want to also.
They don't want that slow shit.
Yeah, no. They want easy, accessible music that is vibey and energetic, and also well known. That's stuff that they know. So, in my mind, I kind of thought it's going to get deeper. So I followed on from what Roskius was playing, and kind of became hyper fixated in the idea of that. And it just kind of cleared the dance floor, really. Like, people weren't really feeling it. I mean, there could have been...
Everyone just leaves.
Yeah, no, honestly. Like, I cleared the dance floor,
I know it's not a laughing matter, but that's so funny.
I did it. That was me. If you ever went to the Jago and his dance floor was empty, that was me. I'm sorry. But it could have been a couple of reasons. One of them was, first of all, understanding the crowd and the venue. That's important.
Yeah, it's so important.
Understanding the time. So I think that was around midnight. And I think sometimes when you want to turn it up, but you also want to... If you're getting a fresh group of people in, you've kind of got to warm them up or set the vibe for what it's going to be, so you keep them. There was stuff going on upstairs. We didn't sell out the place. So, I mean, there could have been other things, but in my mind, I was like, I cleared the dance floor because I wasn't reading what was going on.
Yeah.
But then I played there again, like a few months later, and I would just like learn that lesson.
Yeah.
And I was just... planning a little bit, but then also just making sure that I'm catching what people are into, and then kind of going down that and trying to, if you have them on your side, then if you want to go a little bit deeper, you've kind of locked them in.
Yeah.
Whereas if you start quite deep, then actually you can alienate the crowd. So yeah, I learned that the hard way, but it was also really good because since then I feel like a lot of gigs have gone a lot better because I learned that lesson.
Nice. So that's been like one of the challenges that you faced when it comes to like, is it owning the crowd in a way?
Yeah, I guess it's just being flexible and not like overthinking scenarios in your head. I mean, I'm an overthinker. Are you an overthinker?
I overthink everything.
Yeah, so like with our brains.
Bad. I feel like it's also like creatives have this problem, no?
Yeah.
We because our brain are just like everywhere.
I mean, a lot of people have kind of a bit of ADHD or like a bit of neurodivergence.
But I feel like more creative people are like... I feel like most creative people on the spectrum, it's just our brain always works differently anyway to be creative.
Yeah.
You really have to think and see things that other people are not seeing when it comes to any form of art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that could be a factor.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I feel like right now as well, society just makes you like really overwhelmed with stuff. And so I think everyone's got a bit of ADHD now as well. Yeah. But... wait, how do we get onto this? You ask about bad gig and then...
Bad gigs, Then we just go on a tangent.
Yeah, what's
been like your favourite gig that you've ever played?
Favorite gig I've ever played. So also it's worth noting that like I don't consider myself like a professional DJ that DJs all the time. Like I run a night, I play.
Here we go. He's starting to put himself down. I love it when artists do that. Oh, just so you know, I'm nobody really. I'm just like.
Well, I just mean that like my goal isn't to like play every weekend, tour the world.
No,
and, like,
you do it for the love.
And also it's like, you know, roots lie more in programming and you know, being a promoter, and then within that you're like DJing in my own nights or in circles that I roll in, like friends that have nights and stuff that I get to play, which is also really nice. So I think I've had a couple of really good ones. One of them was, so my friends run Above Below Festival, shout out Above Below, and they kindly invited me, I think 3 years in a row, to play on the Saturday early on. It was like 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And, you know, people had kind of a big night before, and then they woke up, and then they might like get some food and kind of gander over to the stage. Be very
chilled around.
And it just was playing like really nice kind of soulful music, a lot of kind of jazz and down-tempo stuff, and then kind of get a little bit like what I call like fruity house, I guess. It's like it's like a bit bubbly, a bit like the sun might come out now, like okay, it's time to like go from sitting to standing, and I just love that.
You bring them there.
And it was like 3 hours, I think. One year was three hours, one year was like a little bit more than that even, and it was like just the opportunity to kind of play a range of things, have certain moments where you wanted more energy, and just playing with that. And it was really, I really, really, really loved those sets so much. And I used to then after that think about music and think about that set as well, and that setting, and that kind of, it was always just really nice to kind of have that as a memory or have that as a feeling that I shared with some people that were there. And also like with Wiggle Room, which is another night that I run, which is a bit more kind of...
Yeah, speak about Wiggle Room, and then we'll get to Kula.
Okay, yeah, so I've had a lot of gigs that I play there I always really enjoy. But Wiggle Room started about 4 years ago now, and it was my friend's grandma's old house that was in like somewhere near Watford.
Okay.
And it was this big bungalow, and there were these... Polish builders that were actually living in the house, and my friend, his dad also owned the house, and kind of he needed to live there for kind of some tax reasons or something like that, and then they were gonna eventually demolish the house and then rebuild it. And so when it came to that point when they were gonna demolish it, like everyone left, but the Polish builders, like I went to a couple of the parties there and that they used to also throw, and they loved it. They like built a little booth, and they just loved music, and they had all these random things that they got from car boots on their journey.
Oh, they're like vintage stuff.
Just so much stuff, so much stuff. And they had a really nice garden as well. So we basically just built a festival and did like a 2-day thing. In COVID, actually, it was towards the end of COVID.
During COVID?
Well, at the end.
Like at the end, well, when everyone was coming out.
So they got everyone out, and then there was a bit of a moment where people were going back in, where it was like October, I think, 2021.
Oh, yeah. When it spiked up again.
Yeah, the spike up again. Yeah. So that did put a bit of challenge on doing it, but a festival that we were going to go to got cancelled, so we last minute, like, let's just do it. And it went really well, and because it was like a grandma's house, like there was all these like lampshades. That's actually a
cool concept.
It was so cool, honestly. Like we just had a
Wiggle Room. That's cool. Wiggle Room. Yeah.
And we had an amazing time, and then we did a little reunion a year later, like a boat party, and then we were like, maybe this has legs. Like people like it. People like the lampshades. People like the living room furniture. And now, fast forward, it's like, what we do is we bring basically living room furniture, living room house party vibes to different spaces.
Cool.
And now we're kind of doing production for other people's nights, where we kind of have draping and carpets, and we've got a disco lampshade now, which is quite cool. Nice. And
what did you make that, or did you buy?
Yeah. So my friend Will, who runs run Wiggle Room with, it's Will, Becky, and Hal, who are also really good friends of mine. It's really nice working with them. Yeah, he spent like 10 hours on it. It was a big job, actually.
Well, how do you even make a disco ball?
Well, you had the lampshade, and then we got all the little
and then you glued it on.
Really
That's
small,
so cute.
Each one, and there was so many.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
But yeah, that's really good, because we DJ at the night, but it's all about creating the atmosphere. So it doesn't matter who's on the lineup or what's playing. I mean, people should expect kind of good music and some kind of element of music taking kind of the foreground, but really it's the experience. It's the little games. You have like snack table. Like I was just think there's a lack of snacks in clubs and bars and stuff.
There is.
Like,
why is that?
So just put like snacks. Maybe put like a little bowl of like Rizzler and filter and gum. People might need, and, like, you know, a little instrument corner if you find it. You find out hula hoops. You know, people love that. Like, and then also someone comes to the front and they're just sick at it and they just perform and do stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
It just encourages people's silliness.
To be expressive.
To be expressive. Like you're in someone's living room, but you're actually in a club.
Yeah, that's actually such a good idea because like sometimes, you know, like when you're on a dance floor, you're dancing, it's fun, and then like it gets to a bit where like, okay, I've run out of dance moves, and like, hey, you can find a hula hoop and be like, exactly. That's my shit right here now. Yeah. That's actually quite cool.
Yeah, so there's like lots of stimulation on the dance floor, which is nice. And then it kind of contrasts Kula, but it's nice because both have built communities in slightly different ways.
Yeah, let's talk about Kula. How did it start? What was the idea? La 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 la.
Kula Collective, yeah. So it's a project. It's very close to my heart. Like I do love it because it's mainly me doing it, which is great. But then I also feel like it can get a little bit lonely at times and a bit like, okay, it's all on me, and it's quite nice building teams out. But it started in Manchester when I was towards the end of me living there, just because I started to meet people that were just really cool. Like met poets, met stand-up comedians, met musicians, and there was just like really nice little network. And I just was like, well, what about bringing all of that into one space, or like kind of having this kind of creative collision where you've got different art forms in one space. And so that's where the idea kind of came out, and then had a really nice first event that did in Manchester. A place called Off the Wall. I think it's changed now. It's in Northern Quarter.
Oh, yeah, it's in Northern Quarter.
And yeah, it was good. Had my friend Jude play, who was a really good musician, and then a friend G Prophecy play, which is kind of like hip hop with a live band. Had a poet as well, which was really nice, and an artist exhibiting. And it was like, wow, this format does actually kind of work. People like it. Like there's a progression of the night. It's wholesome. People are really nice here. And then kind of COVID happened, and then went back to the drawing board and came back to London, and I was still wanting to do it. It was just about when, and then relaunched in London with a similar kind of format. Again, went down really well, and then kind of built on that. And I think you played it like maybe the third or fourth one.
Yeah, I was very fortunate enough to be one of the first ones who's played.
And also someone that we both know, Will Rubin.
Will, man, I've not seen that man for a long time. I know, but
he's doing bits. He's like, we've got his own little recording studio now at his house.
Oh, that's cool.
People go and record there, and he's just a really talented musician and a really good friend that I've known for many years.
Yeah, you guys have known each other for a while.
Really, yeah. And I remember when I came to London, I was like, okay, I want to start doing these events, and he was kind of plugged in, and he actually sent me your Instagram and was like, oh, you should check out Leia.
Really?
Check out a few other people, like I think there's Eamon as well from Sokyo, like people that I booked like straight away, really.
Yeah.
And then we went to a jam at the Jago, and then that's where we met.
Oh, that's how it happened.
We go way back.
We go way back
a little bit
like,
now. It feels like it's like, I think we had this realization recently. We went to Slick and Bobby night.
Yeah.
Which was also a great night to check out.
Great night,
in Brixton. And
it's like 5 years.
We just started yapping. 5
years,
and I was like, wow, actually just like, it was nice to also talk, but out of the context of like booking you or something. You know? Yeah,
true. Oh yeah, when we met, we were like, F everyone. We were just like, tunnel vision, we just starting music.
Yeah.
Did you book me on the spot as well?
I don't think so.
It was the other guy who booked me on the spot. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I met so many people that night. Yeah. It was Theo's night, no?
No, that was just, I think, the jam.
Was it just the jam?
Jam. I don't know, but like we've seen each other many times.
We met just on the jam. Yeah.
That was the first time.
And then
started seeing you again, and then saw you at Woodburner. And
all the time at Jago.
Yeah.
That was my home at some point.
Yeah, same. It was so good. And then that's how kind of we met, and then you played, I think, one that I did at the Post Bar, which was really good. That was actually one of my favourite Kulas.
Yeah, he says that, but I don't think I performed so well. But
no,
anyway.
And then also you gave everyone little envelopes with like sunflower seeds so they could grow.
To get them to like follow me as well.
To get them to follow, but
and also to grow them.
Yeah, grow.
I should bring that back.
Yeah, that's great.
Why did I stop doing
People
that?
love that.
I should bring that back.
People loved you.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. What's your favourite jam in London, though?
I can't say I go to that many anymore, but like to be fair, I have started going to Ori, but in South, and I think
the South one.
It's quite nice because it's a little bit more
chilled,
intimate, and yeah, there's just a nice group of people there, and I think Jumbie's a great space, and you know Fred and what he's built, and Limmy and the people that kind of work there
it's grown a lot.
Are good, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like super grassroots anymore. There's a lot of other grassroots jams and stuff happening. Like
For sure.
5 Points, they do good jams. So I got to meet that crew recently. Used to do the one at the Jago quite a lot, but haven't been in a while. But yeah, I think because I live in South now, so like the one in Peckham for Orion on Tuesday is quite close, so it's quite nice to pop in. I'm trying to pop back in and just be about, because I was travelling a lot recently and over the last few years that I feel like trying to be a bit more settled and show up for other people's nights more now.
Yeah.
Because I came a
it's
bit
hard,
hyper-fixated,
though.
you know, on what I was doing, and like you might do the same.
Yeah, I do.
And it's like, it's important to go back to other people's things and, like,
and
get inspired and show up for people, because, you know, it's a nice thing to do, and it's what got us, I guess, involved in the first place.
Absolutely, it's a great way to meet people. I know you've chatted a lot about like doing shows and, you know, trying to, how do I say this? You're doing it a lot for the love and things like that, and you've done quite a lot this summer. How do you avoid burnout when you're having like a lot of shows back to back?
It's interesting you say burnout, because it's something I've heard a lot of recently, and people that I am close to that have kind of experienced that recently as well. And it's funny because it made me start to think about like, oh wow, I'm overwhelmed like a lot, and actually I've kind of normalized this feeling of like one thing after the other, and when I see it in other people, and I'm also like, wow, maybe I need to also give myself more of a break, or at least acknowledge what could be burnout, because there has been a lot of times where things just come at the same time. You know, when I'm running 2 events, and I also have like a job.
Yeah, you do.
Solar energy that takes me to Africa and around the world quite a lot. So it's like, you know, you're bound to get clashes. And there's been so many times where I've had to get like an overnight flight from Lagos, Nigeria, to then come back, and then we're running a party that day, and then we've got an after party, and then the next week I'm doing a Kula show. So it's like back to back, and then this month's been crazy. I mean, it's been great that there's been loads of opportunities. Like I've DJed most weekends this month, and you know, been involved in some really nice crews, but you know, drove up to the Lake District to set up this festival that a friend was running, and played loads there, and then drove back, and then 2 days ago I had like a salsa night that I was running in Grow for Kula, and then we've got Halloween party, and then there was stuff happening. There was Jazz on Wick, which is actually really good. Check that as well. Shout out Jazz on Wick and Voices Radio. And that was also a great opportunity, but it's just like one thing after the other. So yeah, I think to avoid burnout, I'm probably not the best person to answer that question, but I think you just have to also make sure you know why you're doing it, and you know, think about the big picture for a bit. Think about how when you're in those spaces, when I am in that overnight flight and tired, I'm just thinking like something's great is gonna happen tomorrow. Like I'm gonna be there, and it's gonna be amazing. And then you just find the energy, and you know, the whole bringing people together, and you know, it's for them really. And then when you get that feeling, and when you get that, it's hard to explain, but there is kind of like an electric feeling when people are just vibing.
It is,
you know, people are vibing, and then when if you've been involved in that, or involved in that, like that's
even if like you're hungover or whatnot, having a bad day,
just get it done. Get it done.
The energy just lifts you up. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I see that.
Exactly.
Well, like, do you ever feel so overwhelmed sometimes where you have to like cancel shows or like take some time off? Like, how do you ground yourself when things get a bit up in the air?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I haven't really had to cancel shows because of being overwhelmed, but it's something that I probably would do if I really needed to. Yeah. I think the first time I had to cancel an event because of, I think there was like tube strikes and like loads of stuff, I was kind of really like, oh my god, like so nervous, and felt like I was like a failure, and what's everyone going to think, and But now I'm actually like perfectly okay if then something needs to get cancelled or there's a reason. It's like, that's out of your control. What can you do? You just move on, try and get a new date and work it out, I guess. But I think to avoid burnout and the feeling of overwhelm is first of all, to kind of like know your limits a little bit. Like if you do get burnt out and stressed quick, and then you've got 3 weeks of gigs and things that you know is going to be detrimental to your health, and maybe it's important to say no to one of them, or to kind of like
I find it hard to say no though. I always feel like I can do it, and then like I do it when, do you know, like them ones where you take on the responsibility and then you resent it? That's when you know like you're doing too much. That's when you know like, okay, you should probably slow down and not do too much. But I have a lot of those days. Like when I met you, I feel like I was doing a lot, and then 2023 happened. I started to burn out. But it was the worst time.
I remember that.
It was the worst time though, because like 2023 was actually when things started to really pick up for me. And then suddenly I'm like, I don't have any energy. I hated all the songs I was doing, because it was like, I want to write more songs, but like when you're being booked, you kind of don't have you kind of don't have the space for creativity to make music when you're playing almost like every month, you know. So to me, that's what caused my burnout, because I was just like, I really wanted to create, but I didn't have time to create, and I just kept doing shows back to back. And then along with PFJ and things like that, along with other work along the side, it just became too much. I burned out so bad, I couldn't even play guitar. That's how burned out I was. And I didn't know why. My muscle memory, gone. Like I even went to a point where like I was doing research, like, my muscle memory is not there. What is going on? Then after a while, I started to realize like you're burnt out. It was really hard.
How did you get out of burnout?
I took some time off. Like I literally just like, I forced myself, let's start there. I forced myself. I started to cut things that were draining me energetically. A little by little, I cut out a lot of going out. I was going out a lot as well. You know, like going out a lot, going to jams a lot, playing a lot, being around people a lot, practicing a lot, doing PFJ, working another job because I need a house. I need money, and it was just too much. But it came to a point where like I had to cut so many things out of my life, things and also people. We forget that like sometimes there's also people around you that are energy draining, that you're not realizing is energy draining. So there was a lot of that. But after a while, I've only this year really, I started to feel like, okay, I am back again. I can work hard again, and this is why I started this podcast.
I also really admire that you started this, because it's always great when you can reinvent yourself in some way, or think of new ideas, or get excited by something else that isn't just what you've just been doing the whole time. And I think, this is a comfortable space for you to kind of express yourself in a new way.
It is.
And I'm a fan. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being here. I want to talk about rejection and giving up. Have you ever gotten to a point where it's just too much that you want to give up?
Yeah, there's definitely been times where I've woken up and just been like, you know what? Why am I doing this? It feels so counterproductive, like working really hard on something and not really getting the results that you see, or like not getting the results that you want necessarily. But I think in those moments it's kind of been a bit like, okay, maybe there's something that I could control and do to make it more of a success, or more in the way that I kind of want this project to go. You kind of got to start to feel like you got to find the positive side of it in order to kind of not give up. I also think sometimes if things aren't working and you've tried and you're kind of comfortable to kind of stop and leave that behind, then that's also fine. Like that's a good thing to do. And if it's done with intention, I think sometimes you've tried something and time to move on to something else. But I think for me it was always just like, oh, when's this gonna like work? When's it gonna be financially sustainable? When's it gonna be easier? And it doesn't necessarily get easier.
No.
But I think this year, because it's been like 4 or 5 years of doing these projects, because like through a few options in different directions 4 years ago, and now they're kind of starting to come back, and I've started to realize actually all the time put in is valuable, because
Is your 10 what is it?
10,000
10,000 hours?
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know if I've done 10,000 hours yet, but it definitely feels
really
like...
in 5 years?
I can't really like...
Actually, that's a short time. It's a short time, 5 years, to do 10,000 hours.
I don't know, like how long would it take you to 10,000 hours realistically, do you think? Is that something for ChatGPT?
I'm really bad at maths.
I think we were talking about this with some friends in the car the other day, and I think they said something like 20-something years.
Oh really? Oh, we got a long way to go.
Long way to go, but we can do it. Like,
yeah, we can do it.
I mean, if you look about it, can you think of yourself 10 years ago?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In that aspect, yeah.
And then if you look at where you are now, it's like, oh, wow, a lot has happened in 10 years.
Yeah.
A lot has happened in 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot can even happen in a year. But it's like, all of that experience kind of compounds itself, and I feel like more grounded in what I do and what my skills are. Not to say that I'm not learning. You've got to keep learning and growing and adapting.
For sure.
But I feel like when I see that, it doesn't make me want to give up, because I'm like, ooh, something's actually come of this. And what I was saying at the beginning about all the network coming full circle, it's like that.
It happens a lot.
That's a network that I care about. Like I like, I genuinely like the people, but also there's opportunities there to collaborate. There's opportunities to kind of get involved in some way in other people's projects and share value in a way. So that is valuable in itself. The network is valued. The experience is valuable. And you need to remember that, because sometimes you lose money on events. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes no one comes. It's like...
Sometimes no one's at the dance floor. People leave.
Yeah, like these things happen. But then, it's about focusing on the wins and also zooming out again. What's your intention with this project? What can you actively do to change the circumstances? Like, there's opportunities to adapt yourself and your skill set in order to make your project more successful. So if you can get your mind into that position, you'll find it's more motivating than it is destructive. Yeah,
it's also like finding perspective in everything. It's not all bad. Like if you like mess up a gig or you're like something happens, it's actually a learning curve. It's always a learning curve. Like it's not the end of the world, but at the time you might feel like, me, I'm always like very self-critical. I've learned a lot, Sherief. I have. Nowadays when I look back at all my gigs, I'm like, it wasn't that bad. Why was I beating myself up over it for because I will beat myself. This. Like
I know you're
the sound wasn't right.
You and the sound. I'm sorry. You and the sound. Like
as a musician, you have to have a good sound.
Every time we've gone out, that always sounds not good. I don't like the sound.
Even if I'm watching other people play, I'm like.
And okay, but like there is a little bit of a problem. There are a lot of spaces. I'm not going to name them, but that the
sounds are not
a problem.
There's a bit of a problem.
But I also
invest
think,
in your sound.
Yeah, and that's also what I noticed about Manchester was a lot of the sound systems there are really good, and I think people. I always remembered like working there. Or like I did a couple of Kula shows there recently, and I noticed that like the sound engineers and sound is pretty good in a lot of the clubs. But in London, I think because the rent's so high and because it's like you want to get started, you don't really always invest in the best sound system, which is understandable. But the musicians, the promoters, and the audience do feel it when the sound's not on point. They do. And when the sound's on point, it's amazing. Yeah,
it's great. Well, with that, then we've come to the most spicier questions.
Oh, spicy questions!
Yeah, spicy question. I hope you're prepared.
You've actually got some spicy stuff growing out there.
Yeah, I got some chilies growing. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you some spicy questions, and if you don't want to answer it, you have to take a shot. Is that okay?
Tequila?
I can do that. We have tequila. They're not sponsoring us, but I feel like every time I like put it online, maybe one day we might get sponsored. One day. But anyway, let's go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let the games begin. It's not really a game. Okay, Sherief. Name a DJ you think is overbooked but under-talented.
Overbooked but under-talented?
Yeah, name them.
Actually, name them.
Yeah, if you don't want to name them, take a shot. Overbooked but under-talented. He's basically talentless.
Ooh. I don't know if I can answer that question, really. I think maybe... I don't know, like... I can generalize it.
Shots.
Okay,
Shots. We got ourselves a new.
Yeah, but he's under stripes.
David Guetta. Why would you say David Guetta?
French people know.
Out here making enemies. Look what you're making me do.
No, it's okay. No, we're not trying to make no enemies here. If you don't want to answer, just take a shot.
I can take a shot.
Shot. Hey! So the whole thing is like, we usually do this, but like if someone doesn't drink, obviously we're not going to do it. So if you don't find it on any other episode, it's because the person doesn't drink. Well, anyway, 1 shot to go for Sherief. 1 shot down. 100 more to go. I can see that. Okay. Next question. I'm gonna do like 4 questions.
Okay.
All right. Name a.
No.
Oh, this is so funny. Name an artist you regret booking.
Oh, you can't ask me that.
Yes, I can. This is my show.
All right, then.
Whatever
you then.
want.
Let's go there. Let's go. That's an easy one. Oh yeah. Next
And then
question.
me.
Yeah, for sure.
You regret booking me. No, you
comment.
can't say me. You can't say me. That's a cop out.
That's a cop out.
That's a cop out.
Well, actually, that gig that I cleared the dance floor, I regret booking myself.
Yeah, that's your own gig, though.
I know, but still.
Okay, I'll give you that one. That's his own gig. He
On
regrets
that
booking
night,
himself.
I was not the choice.
That's okay. That was your own gig. That's fine. We'll give you that. We'll give you that for now. Okay. Name one person you'd never want to work with again in the industry.
Oh, I actually think I might be able to answer this one.
Really?
But
Do we know them?
It could get me in
a pickle.
In a pickle. But
take
also,
a
I think
shot.
it was actually kind of unfair because I felt like this person
Wait, you told me about this, I think.
maybe. Do you name names here?
No, we don't name names.
Okay,
Yeah.
a certain individual who owns a couple of spaces.
No, but like-
one of them.
No, but if you don't name, you have to take a shot.
Oh, so you actually want me
Yes.
to name this person?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't know them personally, but I experienced something that was not very nice.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us the scenario, though?
Yeah, the scenario
Don't
was...
name the name, then.
So, ran a party that was very good, very busy, very successful. Like, it smashed it on the bar, smashed it on tickets, and we were told that we would get... so this was a wiggle room night that we did last year, Halloween, and we were meant to get our deposit back when we hit a certain threshold on the bar, and we were off. We also went above that, and we were meant to get some of that back, which equated to around £500. And then this individual was like, I can't see any of that in communications between us, so sorry, we're not going to give you it back. And then they liquidated the company so that they could run off with quite a few promoters' deposits.
Oh.
And this was unknown knowledge, and this person's still running kind of a successful venture somewhere.
Are you going to name the name or are you going to take a shot?
Well, okay, so it was...
Name the organization.
Well, I don't know, because no, I can't. No.
Okay, shot.
But anyway, that's not cool, bro. It's not
Take a
cool.
shot.
I'm cool with taking a shot, let's do it.
That's fine.
At least I told you how I was wronged, and
Yeah,
that's
of course.
not fair.
It's not fair what's happened.
I feel like should have had a contract, but also like that's sneaky because a lot of other people face that problem, and that's just a
lot.
loophole that kind of screws you over.
And this is why I created this platform, so we can expose them. Salute. 2 shots. Wow. There's never been anyone who's taken 2 shots yet. Sherief, you are the weakest link.
All right, that's me going. Goodbye.
I'm joking. Oh, that's why this is so much fun.
Yeah,
I wanna
it's fun,
see
but like
Sherief
I
drunk.
feel like if we start naming names, that's just gonna.
We don't
that's
have
not
to.
Gonna be good.
You can just drink this,
Yeah, okay.
and we can carry on.
That's fine then. That's fine.
Okay, next question. So that was 2 questions. 2 more to go. Name a time you underpaid an artist on purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Underpaid an artist on purpose.
Have you ever done such a thing?
I don't think I have ever done such a thing.
Oh, you're one of the good ones, Sherief.
Yeah, really.
That's really good. Congratulations.
Yeah. So if I kind of answered the question
Oh yeah, you kind of did.
because I don't have like an answer for it.
Okay, I'll give you that.
But I mean, maybe I have to. Okay, but if it's to just deliberate a little bit, is like there have been times where I've been constrained with a budget, or and this I think is a flaw of the industry generally, is there's not enough support for that.
Yeah, of course.
So I feel like I've had to underpay people, but I've never done it on purpose.
Oh yeah, but you did you like tell them beforehand? Like,
oh yeah, all of that's it has to be. It should be communicated.
Yeah,
I know that you've probably experienced the dark side of that world.
I have.
Yeah, I think it is, if as long as things are clearly communicated, then
you're good.
Then it's someone has a choice to accept it or reject it. Nice.
Okay, last question. Name an artist you only booked because of clout, not music.
Again, I don't think I have ever. I feel like a lot of people I booked is like they don't have enough people come for them, which is kind of like maybe it's not being the right booking. But I don't know if I've really booked people with loads of clout.
It says name.
Right, one more time. What's the question?
Name an artist you booked because of clout and not music, and not good music.
Okay, I'm going to blow my own trumpet here. All the music I've ever booked has been amazing, and some people don't have enough clout that have brought loads of tickets in, but the music's been good, so I can't name any names.
Yeah,
so I'm going to take another shot.
Yeah! Come on. Oh my God, how many shot? 3? I love that for you. Yeah, living life on the wild
Maybe
side.
I should do that, because maybe that would make them a bit more successful, but like...
No, you generally book like from the heart.
I think so.
Yeah, I've peeped your game. You book from the heart. It's nice. Take a shot.
I'm actually quite excited for this one.
No, listen, I want to take a shot. Maybe I'll take a shot as well. Should I take a shot as well?
Oh, that one
to make you feel better. I'll take a shot as well.
Ooh. Tequila's like the only shot that I like.
Yeah, me too. I don't really like other shots.
Energizing.
I feel like you like Cafe Patron, you're doing too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I'm not a big drinker, but like,
alcohol.
A shot of tequila.
Like, I think like it's too much.
I also am trying to do a bit of like sobriety as well after the summer, because I mean, you go out a lot and it's quite nice to kind of not have to drink at all, and you've just messed up my plans. So thank you. Starting from tomorrow.
Okay. Now we're on to our last segment of the show.
No.
It's called May This Situation Never Find Me. So, Sherief.
I just gave you a little echo there for free.
So, Sherief, what situation have you observed that's not happened to you? You've observed that you want to vow it never finds you in this industry. Like, what horrible situation?
I have seen a horrible situation where I wasn't involved directly, but a musician that we actually both know, and a sound engineer who's lovely, were about to have a kung fu fight.
Oh yeah, that. Oh my God, you have to tell this story.
The kicks were coming at like... I've never seen someone get into that position ready to like Muay Thai kick someone 2 face.
But he had the kicks ready and everything.
Yeah, kicks were ready.
Oh no.
And there was like... It kind of happened during the gig where, the artist was getting a bit annoyed that they couldn't hear the sound issue. Yeah, I told you sound
something is important.
I get it. Okay, so there's one thing doing that, and then he started to kind of like shame the sound engineer on stage a little bit, and I think that was a bad move. So obviously the sound engineer's like, what are you doing? You're just turning your own instrument up so much, and like, so there was obviously a miscommunication there, and it's kind of, you don't say that publicly anyway. I think it's disrespectful, yeah, because I mean, you don't want to involve the audience in that at all. You're just there to kind of perform and make the best of it, and you can communicate to the sound engineer in a respectful way rather than like belittling them. And then anyway, the gig finished, and then they started shouting at each other. Like, it got personal, it got deep. And the artist was his leg was raised, about to kick someone in the face, and then had to get broken up, basically.
Did you?
I didn't see it.
Hopefully, you didn't get hurt in the process.
No. I mean, like it got diffused, but I was just like, wow, that's a crazy scenario that I hope.
I think you've told me this story, but
maybe, I mean, it's a pretty crazy story.
It starts with
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
You know
crazy.
who you are.
Yeah, you know exactly who you are. Stop your nonsense. You can't do this in public.
But then it was after the gig as well. There was like messages saying like, I'm gonna destroy this person on Instagram. I will go to war. And I was suddenly
he took it there.
Well, I was in the crossfire because suddenly I was like, listen, like the gig's done. You almost kicked someone in the face, like it's fine, and then it kind of was like there was a bit of after effect as well, and then I had to kind of diffuse that.
Yeah.
So it kind of did end up getting in my space a little bit more, but I wasn't directly involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was crazy.
Damn. Rule number 1. Don't do that. Okay.
Yes.
So
well, he had the flexibility there. I mean, that leg was going up with it was like
he did come
they were. Yeah, he knew his judo well.
He did. He was good. I mean, I've been upset about sound, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like, I want to say I get it, but I don't. I mean, I like, just regulate yourself.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about, like, a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, but it's come to... Like, it's a good story, so,
it's
like...
It's a good story now, so we can laugh about it, but, like, you will get fired. Don't do that, guys. Anyway, okay, now we're going to get into our listeners and what they have to say. So we're going to go into May This Situation Never Find Me dilemmas. So I'm going to read out some things that people send in, and we're going to try to dissect it, make sense of it.
I like that.
All right. Someone said, I'm here for the... Someone said, I'm here for the demise of Spotify, sick of it being the thing that determines whether you get booked or not. I'm with you on that, sister, brother, whoever you are. Like, what do you think about Spotify? I mean, it doesn't really affect you.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Right?
I mean, I know musicians that have been screwed over by Spotify, and people that also have a lot of plays, a lot of streams, a lot of listens, are kind of in the kind of more alt pop scene, and kind of like, you know, where the Spotify algorithm really kind of shines, but they've also been wronged big time, and you know, it's big corporations that's now also involved in like weapons and war. I don't know if you heard about that recently. So I mean, the problem with Spotify is I've been a user of it for ages, and it's kind of like I've just got like, I think thousands of songs on there in playlists, and just it's like the kind of heart of the collection, I guess, of like stuff that I listen to. So it's kind of hard to like move away from the platform. But then I also think platforms like Bandcamp and all that are really important, and there is also a big community that support it as well. Yeah. And maybe you don't get all your music from there, but like, you know, it's a way to connect with artists, a way to connect with record labels, and it's also a way of decentralizing the system a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I love Bandcamp. It's like it's so good for artists as well. I feel like when it started out, it was a bit just like on the side, but now I feel like it's really needed in these times. Like a lot of artists they're actually leaving Spotify, which in a way, I love Spotify. Don't get me wrong. Don't sue me, Spotify. But like, you guys don't pay artists well, and at some point things gotta change. You know what I mean? And nowadays, there's a lot of change already happening within the industry, just the world in general. And I feel like in about 5-10 years, I feel like Spotify won't be a factor. I just feel like it's just gonna fade out, because like another competitor is gonna come in and just like be for the artists in a way, because we're kind of in the age of Aquarius. Things are changing rapidly in communities, collectives, industries. So I feel like Spotify is they're either gonna be forced to make a change themselves or just go down. Do you know what I mean?
I would hope so. But then I just think the whole industry with technology, it's hard to know if it's moving in the right direction. I'm an optimist. I think people will keep wanting to support, and I think there is that need. Whether people will do it and whether Spotify will not exist in 10 years, I'm not so sure. It probably will. And it probably will be bigger, and more.
Do you think?
I honestly, to be honest, I honestly don't know. I don't know if it will or not. But I know that these companies, their minds on growth constantly, so they're going to be finding new ways of doing things.
To keep going.
And you know, their whole Spotify Wrapped thing, everyone loves, and they kind of they do have like big marketing campaigns that are like pretty wholesome and nice. And I've discovered a lot of good music on those platforms as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I do think that as an artist, it's not good to kind of it's not good to be wronged like that, in terms of you've put a lot of effort in, you're getting streams, but you're not getting paid for it. But I think when I book people, like, I don't necessarily look at the Spotify listens necessarily to begin with, but when I've booked bigger bands or when I've used bigger venues, they'll like always ask me about the Spotify stats, which I think I get it, because this is when you're also the venues that are trying to, you know, their goal is to make money and they need to guarantee tickets sold. But then I've also booked someone that had a lot of listeners that didn't necessarily bring hundreds more people. Because you can fake it as well. Well, I don't know. There's just like there's a lot of factors at play. Like, and I just don't think. Unfortunately, we do look at following of plays on Instagram and other platforms to kind of judge things, it's sad. But then
that's what the industry is, you know what I mean? It's a numbers game. It really is. Yeah. How many people can you get through the door? But then again, like, I just wish that we judged people more like the music and how many people you can get through the door than Spotify. Yeah. Because like you can fake those numbers online. Like someone can be like, come through to you with 100k listeners, but they can't get anyone through the door. Do you know what I mean? I've seen it played out so many times.
And I've seen it the other direction as well. Like,
someone with less, you know what I mean, online, but they can get people through on the door. Like we know so many artists, like Dele sells out all the time, but his numbers are not 100k.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Dele's a bit different. Like, he also got remixed a couple times by big DJs, and like he is like such a vibe that I think he's good. He's definitely spent a lot of time on that. But then also like the event I ran a couple of days ago, like the salsa night. It was packed, but you know the bands have got like one or two songs on Spotify and just a few followers, like not a crazy following, but you know they've been around for a while. People turn up, and there's also a lot of other factors that come into play. That's like time of year, and that's also a bit to do with the promoter, maybe the DJ as well. That's also playing, brings people in, and they have their own network the band have their own network and stuff. But going solely on Spotify plays aren't great. But I do remember when a friend once told me, he runs Green Island Festival in Manchester. Shout out Green Island, Stefan and George.
You know, so many obscure
they're the best. Small little niche festivals are the best.
You know, niche boy. Like,
Green Island though, if you don't know, get to know, because it's amazing, and it's growing. It's like the thing to do in Manchester when it's on. Like it's definitely like a fucking great event. But I remember one of them told me, it was like, you know, like once you get to 1,000 followers for your kind of project, people will start kind of messaging you for potential opportunities. Like, I didn't think much of it, and then it was like bang on 1,000 followers, someone started messaging, being like, oh, do you want to do an event at our venue? And I kind of, you know, 1,000's kind of manageable, but then, you know, let's say you get to 10,000, and then you know the opportunities and the size of the opportunity can increase to work with kind of bigger brands and stuff. So I think it is important to kind of obviously kind of try and build your following, because it can bring opportunities. But yeah, unfortunately we live in that world where it's all vanity metrics at the end of the day, isn't it?
It is. Okay, the next question is, or dilemma, okay, I've got three here, but I'm just going to do one more. Someone said, them big contacts you have in your Instagram, social media, is never going to amount to anything if you do not have leverage. I understand that as well, because I have people who follow me, but I know that like they're never gonna hit me up on things because I don't have the leverage that they need. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes like you have people in your corner, but like if you don't have the leverage enough for them to put you on, because you have to, in this industry, whether we like it or not, we have to have something to give, to be given something in some way. So it's like, if I don't have a leverage myself, then if someone was to do a campaign with me, then they're using everything that they've got to lift me up in a way. Do you understand what I mean?
I do understand what you mean. I get it, but I don't necessarily 100% agree, because also I think even in your perspective, like you got a chance to release records on a record label that had kind of quite a big following.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I don't know about what like the details of that, but still, like, I don't know whether there was necessarily leverage involved in that scenario. And actually, I think there's having a follower on Instagram is good, but it's kind of like a drumbeat, right? Where it's just like, okay, you got to get the followers, or you got to speak to people, you got to do all these different things, and after a while, it's a mix of that will get you an opportunity. So one person might follow you on Instagram, they've seen some stuff, then you go to a gig and then you see them there, and then you have a conversation and they like you, and then you like them. Then you see them at a festival the next year, and then there's a conversation and they mention something that they've seen online just in passing, and there's something that kind of rings a bell, like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then you see them again, you have another nice time, and then you have leverage all of a sudden, because it's been done in a very natural way. And I don't think, just because someone follows you on Instagram is like that is your entrance point there. It's an entrance point, and it's a touch point.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you need many touch points with people in order to kind of build that rapport. And if you like them, then you work with them. And I feel like that's what's happened in my scenario. Not that it's happened in like a big extent, but like there was a couple people that, like, I know artists that I really admire that actually liked a piece of content or saw something, but I'm not going to expect anything from them. But if I do meet them and then they ask me what I do and I mention it, it might ring a bell, and then already there's some knowledge there, so it's almost like a bit of like a shop front window, like a glimpse into something you do. But I don't know whether like just having a follower on Instagram gives you leverage and all that kind of stuff. Oh, if you start viewing it as leverage, I don't know, but it's the thing.
I don't think that's what they meant, or even what I meant. I think you misunderstood a little bit, just a little bit though.
Okay, educate me. Like, I thought leverage is like, I think you use people.
In the aspect of, like, for example, like, okay, let's go into like record label with me, right? I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I was signed at a really good point, because there was things happening before I got to that signing. Like, the CEO did see that I had motion happening. I was playing a lot. I was being known around, doing things, right? I did it all independent by myself. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's leveraging himself. So when he signed me, it came at the right time, because he saw that I have my own stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? So that he can add to it. So I feel like in this aspect, in this question, it's more of like people want to see you doing bits so that they can also add to your life or whatnot. Like, if you're not doing anything, then there's too much mystery. Then there's just no one really. Do you know what I mean? No one
I know what you mean.
Knows what to add, or like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I think you got to create your own opportunities.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you have like things going for yourself, then it's like you have a party and people want to attend. Do you know what I mean? But if you don't have a party, then who wants to come into a house where there's nothing going on?
I don't think you just wait for opportunities to come your way.
You must make your own
opportunities. Yeah.
And this brings me to a point to say, just to close in on this. It's like the whole leverage thing, having people who are big in your contact list or whatnot. I feel like you said, they do come around, right? Because like you see someone once or twice, obviously they're not going to give you a gig off the bat. Like, you have to make that relationship, you know what I mean? You see them here, you see them there, you say hi. You kind of like make a relationship happen before you start asking for things in a way. And over time, it's like we've already talked about, we meet people in our circle, and then that introduces us to another person, and then before we know, it's like, oh, this person wants you in their project with another person that you met 10 years ago, and it just all circles back.
True.
So that's also a cool thing about this industry.
It's cool, but it's kind of a business at the end of the day. So people think about things strategically, and it's actually something that I've tried to improve on, because I don't know whether I have been that strategic in the past, and I've kind of done everything for the love of it, and I've met people also that own venues that are like, we're doing it for the love of it to a certain extent, and then you realize reality comes calling, and then you're also like having to find a way of making something financially sustainable, and make sure that I'm finding it very hard these days to make venue promoter artists happy all in the same scenario, and it's like it's quite hard to kind of do all that. But I just think that it is kind of valuable to have a little bit of a strategic mind and understand ways in which, you know, you can, like, for instance, if you are doing well, you also deserve gigs and platforms, and if someone's got the platform, you can leverage on them. I don't think there's necessarily a bad thing. I guess it's just when you take the humanity out of it, when you take the relationship out of it, then it becomes a bit like transactional. But I just feel like a lot of the circles that I roll in and the people that I've met hasn't felt like that.
Yeah, that's good. With that, we come to a close.
Oh, wow, the time has flown.
The time has flown. Nice. I feel like we've been speaking for like 3 hours.
Yeah, well, we spoke a little bit before as well, and I got a bit warmed up. I was always, when driving over here, I was just a bit like, okay, am I in the mood to just yap? I'm always in the mood to yap.
He's always in the mood. Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you, Leia.
And we shall see you soon. Do you have anything going on that you need people to know?
Well, I think I've just come to the end of it, to be fair. I mean,
true.
You know, obviously follow on socials, all of that stuff.
Yeah, follow him, follow us, like, share, subscribe. Yeah. It's completely free, guys. Make my day. So, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Monet was making so many noises.
Yeah. I'm trying to say that you lie.
Yeah.
Hey, we want names.
Oh, this.